Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. This is Altcoin Era, and this is your boy Ahmed. And today we're going to go through the crypto markets. So let's begin. Houston, we have another problem. And the problem is, again, Gary Gensler. He's continuing his onslaught of the crypto market. He's slowly kneecapping the entire industry. And here he is on CNBC. And he's talking about Ethereum. He's here to kneecap the entire industry. So let's just pay attention and listen to the words he's about to say.
Question in crypto land right now. Is Ethereum a commodity or is Ethereum a security? And therefore, will there one day be an ETF? That's the fundamental question on the table in crypto land. You agree?
Oh, you're the one that's out there asking the questions. All I would say is, to me, the fundamental question is how do we ensure that the American investor is protected? And right now, they're not getting the required or needed disclosures. And the intermediaries in the center of this rather centralized market generate.
Protected. What are you protecting? What are you protecting? Mr. Gensler, what are you protecting?
Are conflicted and doing things we would never allow the New York Stock Exchange to do. The New York Stock Exchange is not allowed to trade against the investors.
Okay, but let me ask you about this. You've seen the consensus lawsuit, and I know you have a Wells notice with them as well. This is Patrick Henry saying the following, and I want you to respond to it. Just months after a federal judge sanctioned SEC enforcement lawyers for lying in court, new evidence shows that Chair Gary Gensler himself misled Congress. The testimony to the Financial Services Committee last April, Chair Gensler refused to answer questions about the SEC's classification of Ether, and new court filings show this was an intentional attempt to misrepresent the Commission's position.
We speak to Congress directly in hearings like that and also directly to members, and we share with them accurately what we're doing so that the viewers can also understand we don't speak about whether we have an investigation or whether we don't have an investigation, and we don't speak about whether somebody is, in our opinion, not following the law unless we actually bring a case. So we stay quiet on many questions that you might ask at this live interview or even
but ultimately, should investors,
a congressional hearing.
There's a lot of folks who bought Ethereum expecting that one day there will be potentially an ETF, and that it will be considered a genuine security that's tradable on these exchanges. Will that happen?
Again, that's something in front of our commission right now. We're a 5-member commission, and those filings will take up at the appropriate time.
ETF, and that it will be considered a genuine security that's tradable on these exchanges. Will that happen?
Again, that's something in front of our commission right now. We're a 5-member commission, and those filings will take up at the appropriate time.
Is that something from a
So there you have it. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently, he is trying to protect the investors. He's trying to protect the wider community. But I bet you this is the FUD before an ETF comes out. I believe that this is just causing uncertainty so Wells can continue to accumulate Ethereum at these prices. I think it's just going to be the same as BTC. I honestly think we're definitely going to get an ETF by the end of this year. I think this is all just FUD so Wells can buy. The reason I believe this is because whales are really accumulating. If we look at the on-chain analytics, you can see that these addresses continue to buy. They're continuing to buy. Even during this sideways action, they're continuing to buy. It just keeps going up into the right. As you can see, we're just heading up into the right. The inflows are increasing and the volume is getting higher. The inflows are heading straight up to the right. There's more and more inflows heading into BTC. There's a great massive accumulation period happening right now. We're not at the top. We're just in the beginning of the bull market. The ETFs have continued to buy BTC. BlackRock has continued to buy more BTC. Even Grayscale has inflows. Grayscale had a lot of outflows earlier this year, and now it's reversed. They have a massive influx of new customers and new clients. BlackRock is also buying more BTC, and the number keeps going up to the right. So while there is some stagnation in the market, while there is a sideways movement and a sideways action and a small pullback, 20% pullback for BTC is nothing. I remember the days when we used to really get pullbacks of like 50%, 60%. This is honestly a walk in the park. Key Bitcoin indicator points to a period of calm in crypto markets. BTC's volatility risk premium has collapsed in a sign of a market trending towards stability, where future uncertainty are less of a concern. So basically, BTC's volatility is calming down, and it's just showing that we're in a period of sideways momentum. I believe that we found the bottom. I believe that we might have found the bottom in BTC. And just now, the volatility has gone to 8. So the VRVP volatility has gone to 8, which indicates a moment and a period where it's going to be calm. But the real question is, what will happen to alts? What is going to happen to alts? That's why we're here. What is going to happen to alts? We'll find out later in the show. So the volatility of BTC at the moment is at 2.65. So let me double check. 2.67. So the volatility is still decreasing and is still heading down. The highest volatility at the moment that we've had in the past 3 months was at 4.26%. Currently, we've halved and we are at 2.67%. So we've made a higher low and we're heading back down. I think we're going to continue and go back down. As they say in stocks, sell in May and go away. Nearly all FTX creditors will get 118% of their funds back in cash, the state says in a new plan. The new reorganization plan must first be approved by the Delaware bankruptcy courts. If you're new to crypto, we had a mega 2008 kind of period. Remember when all the banks went bust in 2008? Crypto had a massive deleveraging event. And this deleveraging event was FTX. A gentleman called Sam Bankman-Fried decided to use customer funds to do trades, pretty much. He commingled funds from customers and he decided to do investments, trades, and it all went pear-shaped, absolutely pear-shaped. Sam is currently in jail and he's doing over 30 years in jail. All of the FTX holders and depositors were in disbelief. A lot of them went crazy. They lost all of their money. I personally saw a few people that put large amounts of money into FTX, and as a result, they lost everything. But the silver lining is that FTX has finally paid back their depositors, and this is very good news. A lot of people do tend to say crypto is a scam, but this is definitely heading to the right direction. Under the plan, the article continues and states, under the plan, other non-governmental creditors will get 100% of their claims plus 9% interest to compensate them for the time value of their investments. The arrangement is still subject to approval by the Delaware Bankruptcy Court overseeing the bankruptcy case. They get 100% of their deposit. Whatever they've put inside, they get 100% plus a 9% interest. So they get a bit extra as well. So everyone's happy. But please remember, not your keys, not your crypto. Don't put large amounts in any of these exchanges. That's the number one rule. Make sure you put it in your wallet and you have 100% custody over these coins. The total crypto market at the moment is almost at 3 trillion. This is the entire market. So this is very, very bullish. I understand that some of your alts are bleeding, but just wait. Just sit on your hands, hold the line. This is a moment where you do not fumble the bag. Just be patient. Remember, money transfers from the impatient to the patient. BTC dominance. BTC dominance at the moment is almost at the peak. It's very, very close to the peak. I'll explain why. The BTC dominance is at the moment at 54%, 54.96%. This is the monthly chart. From here to here is altcoin season, right here. This is altcoin season, and this was the biggest altcoin season to date in history. And then we had another altcoin season, and it was from here to here. Right here, this was altcoin season. We are literally at the cusp of the next altcoin season, ladies and gentlemen. BTC has a few more percent to go. So let's just say, hypothetically, we get to 60%. That's a 10% increase in BTC dominance. So where is it gonna claw this dominance? Alts are already bleeding. So where is it gonna claw this dominance? It's gonna be Ethereum, of course. Ethereum is the last to fall. It has the biggest market cap, and currently it's around 18 to 17%. It needs to claw that dominance. Once that is happened, BTC holders will take profits and enter altcoins. Simple as that. There was a viewer that asked me a question, and the viewer said, what did the viewer say? Just bear with me. So the viewer said, okay, I found it. So shout out to Lan Aria. He said, great video, bro. Can you do a video on narratives you think may be next to see upside, please? So shout out to Lan, much appreciated. Yeah, big support of the channel. So it was a very, very good question, and he asked me this question. He basically said, where is the next narrative? The next narrative, I believe, that's going to play out is Phantom. I think Phantom is going to explode, and it's already exploding. I did say this to you before. I said this to you during the Sonic upgrade. Like literally, the TVL has exploded. It's gone up 56%. So what do these people know? It's very underrated. People are not talking about Phantom enough. The market cap has gone up 101%. The TVL has gone up by 59%. And the DEX volume has gone up by 64%. Literally. And they have more and more upcoming projects. Now a good alpha that I can give is this. Phantom doesn't have a meme coin at the moment. Phantom does not have a real meme coin at the moment. During this Sonic upgrade, Phantom is going to have a meme coin. So if I was you, I would invest in different projects in Phantom. I think the whole ecosystem is about to explode. The transactions per second has gone up to 2,000 transactions per second. Previously, it was at 200 transactions per second. Now it's gone up to 2,000. So what do you think is going to happen? Now, with TPS's transactions per second, there is a diminishing return. There are some blockchains out there that have 10,000 transactions, 50,000, 80,000, 100,000, allegedly. Remember, these are all marketing ploys. They're trying to sell you something, and it's up to the people to follow this narrative, and most of the time it's not true. So there is also a diminishing returns with transactions per second. Solana at the moment can only do 250 transactions per second. But before, it was advertised to be 80,000 transactions per second. Like, I'll show you. It's still advertised the same. So Solana transactions per second. So look at this, look very carefully. So what is the TPS? TPS of Solana is at 888. So 888 was its maximum, but also there is, look at this, approximately 50,000 to 60,000 transactions per second. This is what they're claiming, but it's not true. This is what they're advertising. And I remember the early days when I first saw it, Solana at $2, they were trying to advertise and try to push 50,000 to 60,000 transactions per second. And it was proven in the wild that it can only do 250 transactions per second. So this is Solana's Explorer page, and you can see the transactions per second. So currently it's at 2,553, and it's light years below the alleged 60,000, 80,000 transactions per second. These numbers are just made up numbers. They test it in an incubator and they give you these fake numbers. But once it's out in the wild and it's really being tested, really being tested, then you actually get to see how much transaction per second it really does. And even this, I don't even believe it. I don't even believe it actually does 2,700. I really don't believe it. I think it does far lower. But the point I'm trying to say is this. During the engineering phase, when they're trying to test it, they use perfect conditions. They use perfect conditions for the blockchain. But in the wild, there is no perfect condition. You get attacked, you get spam, you get bots, you get scammers, you get misinformation. There's so many factors that goes into building a blockchain. And another narrative that I think can work, it just needs a few adjustments, a few things to really align. But I think NFTs will do good. I think NFTs are dead and buried at the moment, and the sales have gone down incredibly. There are pockets where certain NFTs are doing well. Of course, BTC, ordinals is a must. You have to have that in your portfolio. That's a must. Have you noticed BTC and ETH are merging? They're merging in properties. BTC is becoming more similar to Ethereum, and Ethereum is becoming more similar to BTC. Ethereum is trying to become sound money, and BTC is starting to get more layer 2s like stacks, and it's the layer 2s on BTC are amazing. Honestly, that's a big massive narrative that is not going away. And the third one I'm going to leave to my private members. My private members know I go into in depth. If you want to gain some knowledge, gain some alpha in the space, and maneuver in this whole crypto space, then the link is on the bio below. Just click on my pricing plan, and we have different memberships. We've got the silver membership, gold, and platinum. The S&P 500 currently at 5,187 points. We've had a good bounce, a really good bounce, and we're heading up to these points. Now remember, on the 15th of May is very pivotal. The bears are sitting on this area. They're all sitting in this area waiting for the CPI. There's massive shorts around this area, and they're waiting for the results. They're betting that the CPI is going to be bad. Likewise, BTC at the moment is just really going nowhere. It's up at the moment 0.33. Volatility is very low. We are all waiting, or traders are all waiting for the CPI results. I think we're going to get massive, huge volatility once the CPI is here. Once we get the CPI, we're either going to head up or down. And at the moment, it's more favorable to the upside. So we're going to see what happens. We're going back to this area, retesting it as support. So former resistance is turned into support, and hopefully we head up higher and we can exit this parallel falling wedge. Ethereum price targets currently at $3,010.96. We're up slightly at the moment at 0.12%. Now, Ethereum is testing this support. A rule in crypto is that every time it hits this support, it becomes more and more weaker. So the more times it hits support, the more weaker this support becomes. So as you can see here, we have a lot of trading volume around this area. Now, if it breaks this resistance, this support, we're heading straight down. There's so much air. There's no volume at the moment in these areas, or shall I say there's little volume at the moment in these areas. So the next support is at 2,600, and we could easily just slice through this support and head to 2,360. So this is not a good sign for Ethereum. What we need to do is we need to break out of this triangle pattern. We need to break out of this pattern, do a bump and run. It's called a bump and run pattern. We need to break out of this pattern and break out of this trend line, to be fair, and head up higher and further. ADA price targets currently at 46 cents, and at the moment it's actually doing really well. Surprisingly, ADA's come alive at the moment, but it could just be manipulation from the whales. At the moment, I don't really trust this wick or this candle. I need to see a confirmation. We definitely need to break this resistance. This resistance is very, very strong. It's been here for a while. So we hit this resistance multiple times and we've got rejected. And at the moment, it just doesn't really look good for alts at the moment. So just sit on your hands. Hopefully this is near the end of the bleeding. I did mention we are showing signs of recovery and we're showing a hidden bullish divergence. So hopefully we will see a recovery. Just hold tight, ladies and gentlemen. Just hold tight. Things might get a little bit scary. Just hold tight, because at the moment the SEC has started their whole movement, trying to like kneecap the entire industry. They've gone to exchanges like Coinbase and Binance and Kraken. Now they're going to wallets like MetaMask. They're just going to continue until they're right at your front door. They're going to be knocking on your door next. Solana price targets currently at $147, and it's down slightly 0.70%. Now we've made a double top. Double top is bearish, so this is a double top and a double top. So hopefully we make a higher low and then we can head up higher and further. As I said before in the previous video, you can check out my previous video on the link. The best buying opportunity for Solana is at $100. If you can manage to get Solana at $100, that's a big W. Solana could easily get to $1,000 at the peak of the bull run. I know at the moment it's at 175, and you're thinking 100 and it's going to get to 1,200 or 1,000. How can that be? But this is the power of crypto. Crypto, it goes higher than you can ever anticipate, and it goes lower than you can ever anticipate. It's got a huge risk to reward. So just bear in mind, volatility is the price we pay for 1,000x. AVAX price targets currently at $34.68. We're down slightly again. Nothing major at the moment. It's just a small bleed in a lot of altcoins. Just progressively small bleeds. And at the moment we're down 1.78%. Like I said, it needs to hold this area. If it doesn't hold this area, we're heading down to $20. At the moment, it's just moving sideways. Bitcoin's moving sideways, Ethereum, same thing. So we need a catalyst. If inflation is high, then we all have a problem. We all have a major problem. And I'm going to do a macro video on inflation and a macro video on the whole landscape in another video. But for now, there is a lot of tension. I'll be honest. Inflation is a problem, and if it comes back again, it's going to be a huge problem like the 1970s. BVM price targets currently at $2.92, and we're down 1.12%. We've made a left shoulder, a head, and we're making a right shoulder. Time will tell, and I can see a neckline here. If it breaks the neckline, then unfortunately we're heading lower. This is a lot of volume. So hopefully we form this as support and we head up higher and higher. Hopefully. If we break the neckline, we're going to have a big problem, and we're going to head down further. Like I said in a different video, in an earlier video, I said that BVM is very similar to Arbitrum. Now Arbitrum came out, and once it came out, then a massive pump. Initially Arbitrum had a massive pump from here to here. We had a considerable pump of 65%, and in BVM we had roughly 228%. Bear in mind, BVM is a low cap. Arb straight away was like a massive large cap, and then we deviated all the way to the downside, and we went even lower than the initial, the initial startup, and we went all the way down, made a double bottom, could see it go down further. Just like Arbitrum, we made a right shoulder, so who knows, time will tell. So give or take, give it some time. Bear in mind, BVM's only been out for literally, I believe, monthly candle to 2 months. This is the third month now, so it's literally been out for literally 2 months, and the third month, we're on the 8th of May. Mint layer currently at 29 cents, and we're down 5.29%. And unfortunately, every single time we have whales, VCs, whoever they are, they keep selling, and these whales keep on selling. Every pump is followed with a massive sell, and it just keeps on doing this time and time again. So we had this initially from here to here. We had a pump of 56%, and then we had a drawdown that it lasted forever. So we had a drawdown all the way of 55%, followed by another pump from here to here, and it went up 43%. And we went sideways for a little while. I thought this was a deviation, it was a fake out, it was going to carry on, but it looks like it's just heading down. The volume is very low at these areas, so we could just easily head straight to this area of 19 cents in no time, and that has the most confluence, the most volume. So we'll see what happens next. Mint layer had a massive correction of, at the moment, 71%, and these are great prices to buy out. Now mint layer has a bright future, but some of you may not be able to stomach that risk. You may not be able to stomach it. Some people might be overexposed, and some people might not just be able to stomach it, and it's depending on your risk tolerance. Now you can head to BTC and Ethereum and see 20% corrections, 15% corrections, 40% corrections. But when you get into these smaller caps, these smaller tiny caps, this is part and parcel of the game. They go up by 10x, 20x, 50x, 1000x, but their drawdown is brutal. Honestly, it's brutal. It makes you believe that it's never going to come back again. Psychologically, this is what happens. So whales will make you believe that this is never going to happen. And once people believe this and they're like, oh, this coin is dead and buried, buyers step back into the market and they accumulate. Now remember, we buy when people don't want it, and we sell when people want the coin. It goes for every single market. Right now, it's not cool to buy mint layer. So what do? You buy more. But when it was at $1, it was cool. It was, wow, this is the new thing. Oh, okay, it's got some momentum. Okay. So you need to understand this is part and parcel of the game. This happens to so many different coins. Like, this is not my first rodeo. If you can't handle the heat, then get out of the kitchen. Simple as that. Or just sit on your hands. Simple as that. I see people crying, saying, oh my God, the price is going down. Oh my God, I can't believe this. Oh my God, having a heart attack. Then you're overexposed. I'm sorry, my friend. You're overexposed. If this thing is keeping you up at night, if this thing is literally keeping you up at night, if you're looking at the price of these coins, then you have overexposed yourself. Sorry about the rant. That's it for now. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, all of that good stuff. And wherever you are, good morning, good evening, good night. Peace.